show.
But, you know, I'm learning, and, you know, I've kind of got some subjects, you know, maybe you know, that I think are funny, you maybe don't think are as funny, or, like, they're a little more risque. You know, maybe you're just a little bit more reserved than I am, you know, and I
Yeah.
just, yeah, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
But, so, me and my girlfriend, you know, we kind of have this thing where we'll go sit outside, and we'll just kind of sit there on TikTok as we're, like, smoking a cigarette or something like that. You know, and like,
Okay.
and then we'll like maybe comment on the other, like, oh, you know, and like look at what she's looking at, and I don't even remember who was looking at it, and now I can't even really remember the video, but it's something to do with like I look, yeah, she was looking at it, and I look over, and I'm like, what the fuck are you watching right now? And it's like you know how a lot of people on TikTok, someone will make a comment, and then they'll make a video about that comment. You know what I mean? And pretty much the
Yeah.
comment will be on the screen like the whole time. Well, it's something
Yeah.
to do. Someone had commented on one of these girls' things about maxi pads and like didn't understand
Yeah.
how a maxi pad worked or something like that. And like
Yeah.
and then me and my girlfriend got in this whole conversation about pads versus tampons and like then I was wondering, I'm like, has every girl, well, one thing I learned is I thought this, and I didn't, this, you know, just for guy information out there, I didn't realize
Yeah.
this. You know how like tampons will be like small, medium, large? Well, for
Okay, yeah.
the longest time, I thought that was like, you know, I figured in my mind, I figured you start having your period, and then you like shove it up there, and you're like, oh, this isn't big enough. You know what I mean? Like, I got a big pussy. Well,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that kind of
is
makes
that,
sense.
is that how you thought about this? Like when you
Ye-
what's the difference between small, medium, and large in your opinion?
the size of the, the size that's needed.
For the size of vagina. Like some girls have a little bit bigger of a vagina.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But like
that's what
like
I
the
thought.
circumference,
And I thought, and I
around.
think a lot of guys think that. That's not what it is. It's like,
Okay.
it's, yeah, right? And I was like, oh, I learned something there. She's like, no, you'll like start your period, and then you'll like, oh shit, it's like coming this month. You know what I mean? Like, boom, you know, and then you're like, okay, I better put a large one up there to like soak more in. You know what I mean? And I was
Oh.
like,
Okay.
oh, I was like, I didn't understand that. Sorry, it's a little side note, little knowledge I learned right there. Like I think, you know, I bet there's a lot of guys that would be listening right now, like, oh, I didn't
So
realize that.
if you had like the small, medium, large sitting on a table, would they look different?
I think one would literally be a little bit bigger and medium and then smaller, but it's not because it needs to be that big not to like fall out. It's because you don't really need
Oh.
something up there that big because your flow that month isn't that heavy.
Okay, that's craziness. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. And then I was like,
Yeah.
have you tried all of them? And she's like, yeah. She's like, and she assumed that every girl has. You know what I mean? Like pads versus,
Mm.
you know, whatever, like all the different variations of shit you can do. But what the video was is, and I guess I didn't really know this, but I mean, I figured, I didn't know how women would go about pads. You know what I mean? I get what a pad is, but the video
Hmm.
is this girl like shows how like you'll like if you have to change your pad out, you'll go in a bathroom, you like sit down, you like pull your panties down like to your knees, and then you know like the middle part will just be like in
Hmm.
between your two knees, and then you'll take a pad, you like sit it in that you're in between your knees, and then fold the things over, and
Yeah.
they stick to the panties, and then you slide
Yeah.
them back up. I didn't know that, and I didn't know they were sticky. Um,
Okay, I didn't know they were sticky.
yeah,
I just knew that they were like like ear flaps. Like,
I didn't really. I mean, I've seen one bare, like you know, just flopping in the wind, and and I've seen the flaps, and I guess I just never really even thought about it, but I didn't know they were sticky, and I guess that makes sense. But I had kind of imagined like that you could just do that standing up, like a girl could just like take a pad and just like. Whoop, you know what I mean? Just like, you know, slide her on down there. So like, I've never really thought about it, but I was like, well, like, couldn't she do that? And she's like, no. She's like, if it was like loose, that shit would just fucking, start
yeah.
wandering around on you. And then so I had an
Float down
idea.
the street.
So this is what we've been talking about this whole time is a real long-winded way of my $1 million idea, because I was like,
Oh,
well,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is my idea. Like, why wouldn't? So you just get panties. You get panties with the soft side of Velcro, and then the maxi pad would be the hard side of Velcro, and then you just stick it in your panties, and you get what I'm saying? You could have Velcro panties, and then if it wasn't that
You're
time,
saying that's... Oh, I see what you're saying.
and then it
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
slip anywhere. You wouldn't have any slippage in the panties if it was Velcro. And then when it's not your
yeah.
period,
If there's, because Velcro, if there's one, 32nd of an inch of Velcro that's exposed, it's gonna be a situation.
okay, no.
It's got to cover the whole
You're
thing.
thinking logistics wrong. So here's the pad. You know what I mean? Like this big.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It would
yeah.
only have to be like a strip like that. And the
Oh,
hard
right,
part,
right.
the hard part would be on the backside of the pad, and then the soft part of the Velcro would be on the underwear. You know what I mean? And then you would have your specific underwear, which girls already do for period time. You know what I mean? So it'd be your period time underwear, and then you could take the pad out, and it wouldn't even matter. It'd just be like kind of tickling down there with, you know what I mean? It'd be the.
I wonder if couldn't you have like in the underwear like 10 of them, so you could just rip it off and throw it, rip it off and toss it, and you have a new one, and then rip that one, new one.
And then my girlfriend had brought up, she's like, but then you'd be like super embarrassed in the bathroom. You would just be like in a bathroom, a women's bathroom, and you just hear, you'd be like, oh, know what she's doing.
Oh my God.
I think it's $1 million
interesting.
idea. I think the women listening right now would be like, that's he's onto something. He's fucking onto something there.
EricandBradshow@gmail.com.
He'll be Eric
EricandBradshow@gmail.com. Yeah.
He'll have our logo on the backside of the pad.
Ugh. That's just craziness. I don't even think about that kind of shit,
Well, I do.
That's the world we live in.
We'll be back.